Today we're talking to City manager Ian Allison down at East Thurrock United. We're saying its 5-match winning run in Conference South, or National League South, has come to an end with a 1-1 draw. At times, Ian, it was like a cup tie. Both sides probably feel they could have won it, and both sides could have lost it.
Yeah, it was a good game to be involved in, and I said to their manager before the game that I'd watched them twice, and I like the way they play the game. They try and go at you, they try and win the game, and I expected a very tough game, which is what we got today. And in the end, I'm pleased to come away with a win. With a draw, but we could have quite easily come away with a win in the last sort of 15 minutes. We created a number of chances, and I just think our end product let us down today.
They've drawn with Maidenhead United, and now they've drawn with us. The sides are going to come here, and they're going to find it hard work.
Well, it is. It's not about coming here because East Thurrock are a good side, as I said before. You know, they're 8th, I think, in the table now. They've had a good record this year. They've probably drawn too many games, and that's probably the reason why they're not in that sort of top 4 or 5. But we knew it was going to be tough. I mean, but it was great character from us to come from going 1-0 down in the 68th minute, I think it was, and we made the substitution quite quickly, and Sam got us back in the game. And I felt the last sort of 10-15 minutes we created enough chances to have gone on and won the game.
Really, it's surprising it took 68 minutes for a goal to come, because not just us but them as well. Both sides were creating chances.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good open game, and it was enjoyment. I mean, hopefully the supporters would have enjoyed it. It was a game that was played from end to end. I mean, that's the way we've been playing football most of the season, and it's the way we want to try and play. So it was a good advertisement for the Conference South, and probably in the end the draw was a fair result.
You mentioned substitution there when we went a goal down. Were you thinking of making a change before we went behind?
Not really, because I always felt we had a goal in us, and defensively we looked quite good. But unfortunately, we just had a lack of concentration. We gave the ball away cheaply in midfield, and it got transferred across to the far side here. And Josh got too tight to Sam Higgins, and the minute you do that, and he rolls you, which he did, and he's obviously buried one bottom corner. I think Rusty probably could have done a little bit better than what he did. But sometimes you're questioning goalkeepers making saves after saves after saves, and he's allowed one now and then just to creep underneath him, which was a bit disappointing. But as I said earlier, it was a good reaction to going 1-0 down.
I think throughout your time here, Ian, you've always made attacking substitutions, and that's what you did again today. And you keep getting rewarded with subs. Whoever it is seems to come on and get a goal.
Well, we probably scored a little bit too early, in fact, because obviously we were going to bring Sean Lucien on as well. So it was one of them. Once we scored, we felt we'd caused them a problem going to the free up front, and then obviously bring Sean Lucien on. But it probably took one of the midfield players off. But at the time, we was comfortable in getting back at 1-1. We was then starting to create chances. Theo was starting to get a lot of space down the left-hand side here, and I think we got him once or twice after that. And I think one of Sam Merson's actually hit Junior on the head as it was going to go into the goal. So we created a couple of corners. I think we've had one cleared off the line, a couple of half chances. I just felt in the last sort of 15-20 minutes, our final delivery, our final pass in the final 30 yards just let us down, and that's why probably we've come off drawing again today.
16 points out of 18. Disappointment in not getting full quota today, but it's not a bad record.
I think you have to take, as we said all along, you have to take what comes your way in this league. And the one thing we've not lost. We've been at Ebbsfleet, Bath, and at home to Hampton this year, and come away disappointed that we've lost. It was always going to be a tough game coming in. As I said earlier, no one's going to come here and roll these over. They've done an exceptional job this year. They've beaten some teams quite heavily, and they've had some good draws against some of the top teams. So we knew it was going to be tough. We come here and obviously we caused some problems, and could have quite easily come off there winning in the last sort of 15-20 minutes. We haven't. We have to accept what it is. As I said earlier, I think a draw was a fair result, and we have to move on now and start preparing for the Whitehall game next week.
I think some people might be surprised that on the back of a 5-0 win, you still made team changes.
Well, I think watching Maidenhead 2 weeks ago, watching East Thurrock here against Maidenhead 2 weeks ago, I felt that was the best shape to start, and I felt we looked quite comfortable going throughout the game until we conceded the goal. As I said earlier, Josh has got too tight on a throw-on. He's got rolled by Sam Higgins, and Sam's buried it bottom corner. So we have to take full responsibility for that. We haven't done our job properly, and we've got to go and chase the game then in the final sort of 15-20 minutes, which we did, and could have quite easily come away with all 3 points.
Right, we move on to Whitehall now, next Saturday. FA Trophy. We've had some very kind draws in the FA Cup in recent years, but our luck's run out in the FA Trophy this year. Whitehawk, all right, beat them down the park. New manager, new team, and things are looking up for them.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. We know what it's like down there. It's they've got an excellent home record, and it's going to be a tough game. It's one of them we've got to plan and prepare. But I want to do well in the trophy, so I'm not going to go there and accept second best. We have to go there. We want to try and keep the record going at the moment. We're unbeaten for the last 6-7 games. We've got to keep doing what we're doing, and if we do that right, then we might pick up a result. Whether it's a draw and we bring them back to St Albans on the Tuesday night, or we win. But I'm certainly not going there wanting to lose the game.
I haven't done my history check on it yet, but you've got a good record, haven't you, in trophy? somewhere along the line?
Going back to Bournemouth, I think we got to the semi-final a few years ago, and it was a long time ago now. So it's not been great. I think last year we went out quite quickly to Woking. I think it wasn't the year before when we got promotion. We went out to Concord and we're 4-0 down after 30 minutes. So it's one of them. You have to take it as it is. But certainly we're going to go there next week. We want to try and get through and progress in the trophy, because there's always a chance, if you keep going well, that you could get into the Wembley anyway. So Conference South clubs have done it in the past, so why can't we believe that we can do it?
It's going to be a hectic day, isn't it? Down on the south coast that day, 3 days later, about on the east coast to play Margate.
Well, that's football at the end of the day. I mean, if you're in the situation we're in at the moment, I mean, obviously we want to try and get the games in as much as we can. While the weather's obviously staying like it is, you know, they've had a good pitch today. Obviously the rain's going to come tomorrow and Monday, so we'll have to see where we are. But all we can do is try and get as many games in as we can before the bad weather does come in, because if the snow starts coming in like they forecast, then we can start losing games and we don't be playing catch up at the end of the season.
Lovely, thanks very much, Ian.
Thank
so
you.
Just a reminder, and Saints have drawn 1-1 today down at East Thurrock United, and next Saturday, 26th of November, away to Whitehawk, FA Trophy, third round qualifying. Kick-off at the enclosed ground is at 3 p.m.